2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's been a long 2.5 months for the NAHU crew. Mike decided to wear the same shirt as me today. That's okay. I know everybody wants to be like me.
hmm I figured you'd wear the pink one.
Well, the pink one I wore down to Delaware, and it is in the dirty clothes, so that was not happening today. Anyways, we're back. Harness racing's back. We're excited. Scioto Downs opens up here in about a half an hour from now. We are going to talk about the People's Pick 5, a new Pick 5, 14% takeout, $10,000 guaranteed pool tonight. And we got a couple special guests on. Ray is not with us tonight, but we got Jeremy Earhart. Say hi, Jeremy.
Hey guys.
We got Mike Prebozy.
You already talked to me.
I know, but I'm introducing you now. And
Thanks.
Ken Terpenning, live from Scioto Downs.
What up?
So you can see we're highlighted as we're talking, and it'll change it over. Um, but this pick 5, again, $10,000 guaranteed pool. Make sure you jump in on this. I think Scioto's going to have a big, big night tonight with their handle, and especially with this pick 5, 10,000 guarantee. I'm guessing 23,000 in the pool. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere around 25, 27.
I'm
It's a
liking,
good sequence. So
yeah, it is a very good sequence, and if you can get one of those favorites beat, I think it pays very, very nice. Uh,
I think it's going to be way more in the pool, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it could go way more than that for sure. Especially it's the first night back. Everybody's into it. Everybody knows what's going on. Free programs. I could see 40, 50,000 easy. Maybe more.
well, let's hope you're right. Ken, what's your number?
19,578.50.
Wow.
Ken's very pessimistic today, so we're ignoring what he just said. But anyway, this pick 5 starts in race number 5, and this is a 1 mile pace for fillies and mares now winners of 11,000 last 4 starts. And I'm going to throw it over to Jeremy to start this sequence off. The 4 Llama Llama is scratched out of this race. One of the very few changes on tonight's card. So scratch the 4 Llama Llama. Jeremy, start us off. Who do you like?
my top pick in here is going to be West Lucky Cam. I like Tom Blankenship. I think he really spots his horse as well. You can never go wrong with Brett Miller either. He'll be setting a good trip. I think there's plenty of speed in here as well. So I gave a little shot to Let Me Fly Low and Sugar Dance just to pick things up late in the mile.
Yeah, I agree with you there. West Lucky Camp obviously is one of the top horses to beat in this race, 9-2 morning line. I think you're getting fair value on that horse. The 5 Let Me Fly Low. This is one that qualified decently, made up a little bit of ground in the stretch there, made up a length the last eighth of a mile. Just kind of sat in the back. It was a pretty quick qualifier off a slow half, so I think this one's ready. The 6 Tiffany Rocks for Burke and Chris Page. I think these Burke horses are going to come out firing tonight. He might win 5 or 6 races tonight. Who knows? But I know his horses are ready to go, and they all seem to qualify pretty well too. And then the 7 Sugar Dance, uh, Hennessy Trace Tetrick drives. This one had been racing up at Woodbine, won the Blizzard Series final up there back in late January, and has been very good all season. Facing some decent competition up there. Ships down, I think fits well in this race and could get a nice trip. She doesn't have gate speed, so she'll be coming from off the pace. Needs a little bit of a speed up front. So I'm 2, 5, 6, and 7 there. Mike, what about you?
Agree on a few. I really don't like the 7 for a few reasons. I feel like the horse needs kind of the bigger track. The horse has a lot of talent. I think probably wants a bigger track. So I'm sort of against that one. Agree on the 2, 5, and 6. I'm going to throw the 1 in also off a decent qualifier. That's called Icon. Had raced in the Open on March the 6th, and that was a tough spot from the 9 hole. Really no chance in there. But at this level, I think this horse has a chance. Drawn well, qualified, fair enough on the front on a mile track. I think this horse is worth a use. I agree on the 2. I think that's probably the most likely winner after that blowout win on March 14th at Northfield. That horse definitely fits in here. And then, I would use the 5 and the 6 also for the reasons that you gave.
So Mike's going to copy me again, not only the shirt, but some picks. Ken, what do you got here in the first leg?
I went with all because I just think that the first and the last leg tonight are wide open. If I had to choose one, I would actually go with Arrival from Post 8. Been racing really, really well for the Smith stable and really nice qualifier last time now.
So Ken hits the all button there. His ticket actually dropped $10 with the scratch of Llama Llama there. So when those graphics pop up, you will see his ticket price will be $10 less since he did have Llama Llama. Race number 6, leg number 2 of this pick 5. This is the $18,000 Filly Mare Open. Field of 6 here, and we were all pretty much in agreement, varying slightly in our picks here. But Ken, I know you went with a single in this race.
I did.
You know which one?
Golden Paradise for Tyler George.
It is. It is Golden Paradise here.
Super nice mare. I remember when that mare was in against my mare that I have in tonight, back when they were in like a 12 claimer. So just to show you that your horse can be good on any given day, Golden Paradise has really stepped up her game in the last year and a half or so.
I'm on a similar page there, but I'm using 2 horses in this race. The 3 Rosemary Rose off a massive qualifier there. I'm using a lot of horses out of that qualifier because she was so good in her prep that it's hard for me not to have her on this ticket. And this is another Chris Page, Ron Burke entry that should be right there once again after that good qualifier. And then Golden Paradise, like Ken said, this one for Tyler George, Trace Tetrick was in really good form at Miami Valley prior to the layoff and qualified well, drew away from him. So I think you got to use both of them. You can use one or both. I took both of them. Jeremy, what about you?
Yeah, Rosemary Rose is probably my top pick. I know she can be a little sore at times, and I'm thinking this layoff might have helped her out, helped her freshen up a little bit. She's burned a lot of my money though. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah, we've all
So
got those horses.
so I threw Golden Paradise on my ticket too. So
Mike, what do you got here?
I agree on the 3. I do think it's between the 3 and the 6, but I didn't really want to double the ticket. So I went with the 3 with a post edge, that 26-4 kicker in that qualifier. This horse won at this level on February 21st, and 8 wins last year, 130,000, made almost 600. So I think pretty obvious here in this race.
So we're all pretty much in agreement there. Moving on, leg number 3 is race 7. This is a Filly Mare non-winners of 8,000 last 4 starts, going for a purse of $12,000. Field of 8 here, and Jeremy, I'll let you start this one off.
I'm gonna start with a familiar theme, Libby's Idea on the bottom. I think she probably crosses over and gets a good trip, but I really like the qualifier that Princess Rougarou had. Again, that's the Rosemary Rose qualifier, and she was out ahead of Rosemary Rose. Rosemary Rose was flying home and just beat her on the wire. So I used Princess Rougarou, and I also threw the Tyler George horse in, which you can never go wrong having Tyler George to cover you in the pick 5.
Mike, who do you got here?
Agree on those 2. They come out of that same qualifier that we liked from earlier, and both I think fit at the level. Both qualified extremely well. I'm going to use 2 more though. The 6, Don't Mock Mia. Tough qualifier, but was claimed for 20 on March 13th, and now into a 20% barn here. Has 5 wins already in 2020. So that's huge for me. I like horses that like to win races, so we use that one. And then the 8, Libby's Idea, was racing at the open level at Northfield, and then a huge blowout qualifier by 9 lengths, kicking home in 27-1. I think that's another one of these Burke horses that it's really hard to leave off. If he has them all going with the outside post, I think this horse has a chance. So 2, 4, 6, 8.
Mike's deepest of all. Ken, you're too deep here. Two common horses, the 2 and the 8.
Yep. I choose you. I believe that's Tyler George. I'm not looking at the program in front of me, unfortunately, here at the track, but racing really, really sharply prior to the shutdown. Really nice qualifier. I also like Libby's Idea from the 8-hole for Ron Burke. We actually qualified against that mare last week. The thing about that race line, there was a breaker. Eliza Dushku was sitting in the pocket, made a break about the 3/4 pole and scattered the 3rd place and 4th place horses at that point in time, Daliana and up front Supersonic. And therefore, Libby's Idea was able to scoot away late in the qualifier with really no competition. I will tell you this, though. Chris Page came in and said she probably could have gone 51 that night. So with that in mind, probably going to be the winner, but, had to throw it in the Tyler George table as well.
Yeah, I mean, those two horses make the most sense in this race. I also used the 4 Princess Rougarou. That qualifier was pretty stout, I think. Made a first over move, was out and moving. So I think that's a good tightener for this race, and she should be in the mix throughout, I think. She might not leave, but she is going to be in the mix, whether it be first over or second over. If she can come second over, I think she's got a big shot because there is a little bit of speed in here, and they could tussle early. So I'm kind of hoping for that scenario with a decent price play in the 4 Princess Rougarou. But I'm 2-4-8 there. Moving on to leg number 4. Tougher race here. This is a trot, open trot for $18,000. Field of 8. Pretty good race if you can get past the 2-1 morning line favorite, working it on Broadway. And Mike, you start us off here. Do you go with anybody else besides that 4 working it on Broadway?
I mean, using the 4 looks obvious, but this horse is capable of it's a couple month layoff, so and has only 1 start this year so far. So some of these horses have a little more than that, such as the 6 Wildfire Sealster, who has won 6 out of 8 races already this year, and 3 straight coming into this one. Lost to Signal Hill in the qualifier. That horse is pretty decent. I think worth a use here, especially if this horse can get away from the gate instead of trip. And then the 7 Iowa Tiger AS qualified against the 4 horse, and was just okay in there, but had the 8-hole. Has upper level lines at the Meadowlands, including one on February 21st, where he kicked 26-4 as the favorite, but just losing to Dason. I mean, there's no Dasons in this race. There's no Elysium Lindy's in this race. I think capable from a class standpoint, 4, 6, 7.
Jeremy, I know you have an opinion on this race. What is it here?
I do have an opinion. Dylan the Great, he shows a little back class that he's got green shoe on some of the past lines and horses such as that. I think he could pick up the pieces. I mean, it's the Burke horses. It's the 2 Burke horses, in my opinion. Dylan the Great, he has 2 track records as well here at Miami Valley. So, he can get around the 5/8. It's a little different, but I think the 3-4. I think Burke has a strong hand in here again. But Dylan the Great, Josh Sutton does get along with this horse as well, quite well.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. I think the 3 and the 4 are the 2 best horses here. I went ahead and singled the 4 along with Ken, just because of that qualifier. I mean, it was a very good qualifier. Basically shut down at the wire. Looks the part. Have been racing against open type of company week in, week out. So, there's enough there for me to warrant a single on this horse today for cost purposes. If you got the extra money, throw the 3 on your ticket, because I do think that horse has a big shot to be able to get there. Ken, you got anything to add on that one?
Yeah, I did single working it on Broadway for obvious reasons, so I really won't cover much. You guys have already beat that one to death. But if I had to throw a couple extra horses on, like if you weren't going to go all in the first leg and all in the last leg like I did, and you want to look for a couple of value horses, definitely Wildfire Sealster. Note, little tidbit, fun fact: Wildfire Sealster was entered in the Blooded Horse sale with another horse of Burke's, Mark Weaver, threw
Yep.
the duo in there, and you had a choice. Once you got the winning bid, you had your choice to pick which horse, and the Hagermans picked Wildfire Sealster. So that actually says a lot to me. And then the other horse that I liked in there was actually Peggy Sue from the rail. A little bit underclassed in this group, but very, very tough trotter. And, the Gallier stable, always sharp. I know he's been training his horses and getting them ready. The qualifier is just a little dull on time, but I think, Peggy Sue could be right there if she gets the right trip.
And moving on to the final leg of this sequence, it's the pick five starting in race five at Scioto. This is another trot race. Now winners of 11,000, the last four going for $15,000, and this is a full field of 10. And reminder, the 10 at Scioto starts in the second tier, so keep that in mind when playing these. You mentioned, Ken, that you hit the all button again here.
I did. Again, I just found that the two 10-horse fields tonight were pretty wide open for me. I see Signal Hill at 8 to 5 morning line. You know that horse is going to take all the money. I just think that it's definitely beatable. If I had to choose, I would go with the rail horse. I think that horse has been training sharply and looked really good on paper. So, take that for what it's worth. But I did go all in here.
Mike, where were you at in this leg?
I'm three deep, but I agree with Ken on a couple there. The one, Perfect Chapter. This horse is racing at the top level at Pompano, and then qualified, albeit in a three-horse field, but qualified well enough. The horse has 11 lifetime wins, is drawn well, and could be ready to go. I'm not really crazy about Pompano shippers necessarily, but this horse was facing the top horses down there, and that's a good group. So I would say this is a class drop. Signal Hill, I think, is a use, but obviously, doesn't really like to win all that much, and is going to be rock low in the race. But I am using, and then the 9, Just a Passenger, is another Burke horse. So, Burke Page was racing very well at Miami Valley. Was crushing, straight numbers of 4, and qualified well enough. Just missing in that one. Looks ready, should be firing from that outside post, and I think is definitely worth a use. So 159.
Jeremy, where are you at in this leg?
I hate to sound real chalky, but Signal Hill just looks like a standout to me on paper. To be honest, he was racing in some real tough open races at Miami Valley before the shutdown. Um, I know he, from what I remember, I think he has some feet issues too, but he's going to be ready to go. Danny Collins likes to get his horses ready for Soda Downs, and I think he'll have this horse ready. I did, just in case, I used your Perfect Chapter ass, the Melanie Wren horse coming from Pompano. I've had good success cashing tickets on horses from Pompano to win the Scioto during the Scioto meet. So I always throw them in there, and then I use Elliot Deaton and Annette Lorenzen on the 2-horse Black Mamba. The only thing that scares me about that horse is he is prone to make a break every once in a while. So it's never a good feeling going in the last leg.
Right.
The same way. That horse can make a break too.
Right there,
Jeremy, you got something. You got something on your face right here. It's a little white. It looks a little chalky.
Yeah. It's a little embarrassing, but
No, you know what? This is a tough race. It really is, because a lot of things can happen here. There could be a big speed duel, or everybody could just take back. And these horses in this race have shown that they can all leave and they can all pull off the gate. I mean, that's the thing about this race, is you don't know what kind of scenario you're going to get. So that's a little bit scary to me. But I'm 5 deep here, using similar horses and some other ones. The 2 Black Mamba, I like that this horse was pretty far back off a slow half last time in that qualifier. Elliot Deaton stays on a drive. I think this horse fits well and has the inside post, is going to be up close throughout. The 5 Signal Hill, I have nothing else to add there. This horse is going to be chalk and is a must-use. The 8 North Meadow Mission. Now, last week it looked like, and I don't know if Chris is watching right now or not, but it looked like Chris might have choked this horse sitting on the rail in that qualifier. He had a big hold of him going down the backside. And when he finally did shake loose, he popped him 3 wide, turning for home, and looked just a tad like he flattened out. So I think maybe he choked him after having that big hold on him. But he did close well, and he raced well in that qualifier. I think he's ready, shipping from North Carolina. The 9, Just a Passenger. Mike and I use this horse, Burke and Page. I mean, nothing else to say there. And then the 10, Iron Mine Johnny. I like this horse coming from Northfield before the shutdown. Put in a good qualifier, raced while he sat there, and then ended up pulling, just getting beat in that qualifier. Was charging late. Has a good shot if he can work out a trip. That's the whole key with this horse. He's got to get a trip up close where he doesn't have to close too fast, because he is kind of a one-speed. So maybe going to the big track helps him a little bit. We will see. So I'm 2, 5, 8, 9, 10 there to close it out. We'll recap our tickets real quick for everybody, starting with Jeremy. Go ahead.
I'm going 257 with 3-6, with 248, with 3-4, with 1-2-5.
Mike, your ticket.
1-2-5-6 with 3, with 2-4-6-8, with 4-6-7, with 1-5-9 at 72 for 50 cents.
Ken.
All with 6, with 2-8, with 4, with all. It's an all sandwich ticket, and I believe you said my ticket's down to what, $90?
$90 now with the scratches, which leaves me 2, 5, 6, 7 with 3, 6 with 2, 4, 8 with 4 with 2, 5, 8, 9, 10. We're going to throw these tickets in. We're definitely going to be playing tonight because these pools are going to be nice. This is probably going to be one of the highest handle nights ever at Scioto, I believe, if not the highest.
No question.
So make sure you jump in on these tickets and these multis and every pool, really. If you see something you like, just throw a few bucks. We haven't had harness racing to bet in over 2 months, so definitely excited about the return of harness racing. And
speaking of that, what tracks do we have coming sooner than later? I know New York tracks in June.
Yep. So
Ontario,
New York
first weekend in June.
Yep, New York tracks are eligible to open June 1st. We'll see when they announce their first racing date. But I know all those tracks are going to be opening up sometime right around the first week of June. Ontario, they're all opening early to mid-June. June 5th is the first eligible day. They're having qualifiers next weekend, I should say, at Mohawk, and all the other tracks, Sarnia, Dresden, Clinton, they're all opening up right around the same time. June 5th, 6th, 7th, that time frame-ish. Where else we got? Northfield is going to open on Tuesday. Hoosier Park is going to open, I believe, June 11th, maybe 12th, something like that.
What about Aces?
Running Aces opens June 20th. And that's all we got for now, I believe. Unless something changes. Hopefully something changes. Meadowlands announces something. They're hoping the first week in June they can reopen. Hopefully Pennsylvania opens back up. We're all hoping Pennsylvania opens up here soon. Some politics being played in Pennsylvania right now, but we're not going to get into politics because that's not what we do. But we are going to get into this pick 5 and definitely be playing this. 10,000 guaranteed pool, 14% takeout. It's brand new. Jump in on it. Race 5 tonight at Scioto. Ken, you're at Scioto. What do you have for what do you have for track conditions, happenings, all that kind of stuff?
So the track condition is actually fast. They've been working the track all day. We've had some rain here, obviously, all week, as you know. Even the backside's drying out, so it's really nice. I'm actually here right now with my horse up front, Supersonic. She's in race 12. She's a little camera shy, but she's all excited and ready to go for the 12th. She's coming out of that Libby's Idea qualifier, so I keep an eye on her. She's been training really qualified really well. The wedge, the bike.
Best of luck tonight in that 12th race. You'll be racing right around midnight probably, so good luck staying awake all night, and we're definitely going to be watching. But that does
about
it.
6 minutes to go, the first race here. Just letting
Yeah,
everyone know.
yeah, we've got just a few minutes until first post at Scioto. If you haven't got a program, they're free on Scioto Downs website. It's sciotodowns.com/racing/ race programs or something like that. You'll find it on their website. Just go download a program. If you don't have an ADW account, open one up real quick. Start betting Scioto. Because guess what? Pools are going to be large. Jump in.
Really good cards the next 2 nights too.
Yeah, very
Tonight
good
and
cards.
tomorrow.
Very good quality cards.
We got
Full
Ken
fields,
close
everything.
up there.
So, Ken, don't be a creeper with your mask on.
Hey, following protocols, man. We got to get raced. So.
Yes, we do. Make sure everybody keeps following those protocols so we can stay racing. Wear your mask. As for the rest of us that are sitting at home watching, bang, bang, we're out of here.
Peace.